Nothing escalates a relationship's dynamic quite like the moment when a woman who once walked away suddenly returns. It's a phenomenon that's puzzled many men throughout history, and today, I want to unpack exactly why women always seem to come back to certain types of men. It's not about looks, money, or status, though those can certainly play their part. The magnetic pull that draws women back often boils down to something much more fundamental and powerful: emotional security. When we talk about why women return to specific men, we're really examining the foundations of human connection. I've spent years studying relationship dynamics, and I've noticed patterns that transcend cultural boundaries and social expectations. Today, I'll break down the psychological factors that make certain men irresistible to women who've previously left them, and how you can develop these qualities in yourself. First, let's acknowledge something important. There's a difference between a woman returning because she genuinely values the connection and a woman returning due to manipulation or unhealthy attachment patterns. We're focusing exclusively on the former, the authentic, healthy reconnection that happens when a man possesses qualities that are genuinely attractive on a deep level. The most compelling reason women come back to a man is his ability to provide emotional security while maintaining his own identity. This manifests in several key ways that we'll explore today. The first is emotional consistency. Women are naturally drawn to men who remain steady in various circumstances. This doesn't mean being emotionless or stoic. Quite the opposite. It means having the emotional intelligence to process feelings appropriately without wild fluctuations in behavior or mood. When a woman knows what to expect from you emotionally, it creates a sense of safety that's profoundly attractive. Think about it from an evolutionary perspective. Unpredictable partners represented danger to our ancestors. A man who flies off the handle one minute and is perfectly calm the next creates an environment of walking on eggshells, something most women find exhausting rather than attractive. This consistency extends to how you handle conflict. Do you lash out when challenged? Do you shut down completely? Or do you engage respectfully even when emotions are running high? The way you navigate disagreement tells a woman everything about how you'll handle the inevitable challenges that arise in long-term relationships. I remember working with a client named Mark who couldn't understand why his ex-girlfriend kept coming back to him despite their periodic breakups. When we dug deeper, the answer became clear. Even during their worst arguments, Mark never resorted to personal attacks or emotional manipulation. He maintained boundaries, respected her perspective, and focused on solutions rather than blame. This emotional maturity was like a magnet that kept drawing her back even when other aspects of their relationship needed work. The second key factor is self-sufficiency balanced with genuine connection. Women return to men who have lives of their own, passions, goals, and social connections that exist independently of the relationship. This might seem counterintuitive. Shouldn't being completely devoted to her be more attractive? Actually, no. When your entire identity is wrapped up in a relationship, it creates immense pressure and often leads to codependency. Men who maintain their individuality while still prioritizing their relationship strike that perfect balance that women find irresistible. They demonstrate that they want the woman in their life, but don't desperately need her to function. This creates a healthy dynamic where both partners choose each other daily rather than staying together out of obligation or fear of being alone. Consider how this plays out practically. Do you cancel plans with friends whenever she calls? Have you abandoned hobbies you once loved to spend every waking moment with her? Or do you maintain a full, rich life while still making quality time for the relationship? Women consistently return to men who fall into the latter category because it signals emotional health and maturity. The third factor, and perhaps the most powerful, is the ability to provide emotional depth without neediness. Women are drawn to men who can engage on an emotional level, who can have meaningful conversations, show vulnerability when appropriate, and connect beyond the surface. However, there's a critical distinction between emotional availability and emotional dependency. Men who can share feelings without making their partner responsible for managing those feelings create an environment where emotional intimacy thrives. They express themselves honestly, but maintain personal responsibility for their emotional well-being. This is incredibly attractive because it allows a woman to connect deeply without feeling burdened by the man's emotional state. I worked with another client, James, who was puzzled by his ex-girlfriend's continued interest despite their breakup 6 months earlier. When we examined his communication patterns, we discovered that he had mastered this balance. He would share his disappointments and challenges with her, but always from a place of self-awareness rather than expectation. He never made her feel responsible for fixing his problems or managing his emotions. This created a space where she felt connected to him without feeling drained by the connection. The fourth element that draws women back is growth orientation. Women return to men who demonstrate a commitment to personal development. This doesn't mean you need to have everything figured out. Quite the opposite. It means you're self-aware enough to recognize your shortcomings and actively working to address them. When a woman sees that you've taken feedback to heart and made meaningful changes, it's incredibly powerful. It shows emotional intelligence, humility, and a dedication to becoming your best self. These qualities are rare and valuable, making you stand out from other potential partners who might remain stagnant or defensive when faced with their own limitations. I've seen countless relationships rekindled after a man took the breakup as an opportunity for genuine self-reflection and growth. Whether it's addressing communication issues, managing anger more effectively, or becoming more attuned to a partner's needs, demonstrated growth speaks volumes. It tells a woman that you value the relationship enough to do the difficult work of personal development. The fifth factor is presence, both physical and emotional. Women consistently return to men who made them feel truly seen and heard. In our distracted world, genuine attention has become increasingly rare and therefore increasingly valuable. When you can put down your phone, maintain eye contact, and fully engage with what she's saying, you're offering something many men don't. This kind of presence creates memorable emotional experiences. It tells a woman that she matters to you, that you value her thoughts and feelings. The memories of feeling truly seen and appreciated often draw women back to men who provided that experience, even after a relationship has ended. I had a client who couldn't understand why his ex-girlfriend would still reach out to him months after their breakup, especially when she was dating someone new. When we explored their relationship history, it became clear that he had mastered the art of presence. He remembered details about her day, asked thoughtful follow-up questions about things she'd mentioned previously, and gave her his complete attention when they were together. Her new boyfriend, though successful and attractive, was constantly distracted and half listening. The contrast made her realize what she had lost. The sixth element is emotional safety combined with excitement. This might seem like a contradiction, but the most magnetic men manage to provide both security and stimulation. They create a foundation of trust and reliability while still bringing spontaneity and passion to the relationship. Women return to men who made them feel both secure and alive. This balance is difficult to achieve but incredibly powerful when mastered. It means being dependable in the ways that matter, keeping your word, showing up when needed, maintaining consistency in your core values, while still bringing elements of surprise and adventure to the relationship. This might look like being rock solid in your commitment while suggesting spontaneous weekend trips, or being completely trustworthy in your fidelity while still pursuing new experiences together. The combination creates a relationship that feels both safe and exciting, a rare and intoxicating blend. The seventh factor that draws women back is effective communication, particularly during conflict. Women return to men who could disagree without becoming disagreeable, who could express their needs clearly without blame or judgment, and who remained open to feedback even when it was difficult to hear. Communication during conflict reveals character in ways that nothing else can. When a woman remembers that you maintained respect even when angry, listened to her perspective even when you disagreed, and worked toward resolution rather than victory, it creates a powerful impression that's hard to forget. The eighth element is emotional generosity without expectation. Women are drawn back to men who gave freely of themselves, their time, attention, support, and understanding, without keeping score or expecting immediate reciprocation. This generosity creates a foundation of goodwill that often endures even after a relationship ends. I hope this video is helpful to you. If it is, please like and subscribe so that this channel can continue to produce more videos for you. Thanks for watching.